What is up YouTube, my name is John and today I will be reviewing the newest album from the Japanese metal sensation BABYMETAL named Metal Galaxy. Now BABYMETAL, that is a band that just divides metalheads all around the globe. Some people hate it, some people love it. And what I can definitely say right now after listening to this album, that this is not going to turn the orthodox metalheads into fans of this band. But today I am not here to talk about the love/hate metalhead relationship with this band. Today I am here to talk about their newest record, Metal Galaxy. Now this album was described by the members themselves as a journey through some kind of metal galaxy, and I think that's definitely fitting because it's very diverse and there are lots of different sounds on this album. Each song sounds really different, but it still has that BABYMETAL, so thanks to Su Metal and Moa Metal, that just with their vocals they are just getting better and better, at least in my opinion. Especially vocal wise, and all the phrasing and melodies, everything just feels bigger on this album. So let's just jump straight into review song by song. So the album welcomes you with some electronic beats and very effect heavy vocals, and you really feel like you're boarding some kind of starship that will just take you into another metal galaxy, and that is what is going to happen on this album. There are some sick beats in the intro that I really like, and it really sets the tone for the whole record. But oh boy, you are not ready, because from the very beginning, the very first song that is named Dada Dance, you are just thrown into a storm of awesome melodic riffing, electronic craziness, and it sure makes you really wanna dance. So that is like feels like a big anime opening, something really huge, and it's just fast. The riffs are just relentless, and the overall sound, maybe for some people it might be a little bit too electronic, but I think it just freaking works. The wall of sound is just massive, and it just makes you wanna, it just makes you feel alive and makes you wanna move your goddamn head, maybe your whole body. Well, that is up to preference, but this is a great song. It even has some hints of growls. It has a genty part even, and even a little bit of rap, so already the very first regular song on this album is like a goddamn banger. Dada Dance, holy balls, this song is really great. While Dada Dance kinda feels like an anime opening on crack, the third song named Elevator Girl, which was already released before the whole album got released, is a bit different. It has a heavy intro, but the verses are something really different because they are basically driven by just bass, drums, and vocals that are just so well laid out, Overall, on this album, the vocals, the phrasing is just so freaking good. Sometimes it's just so goddamn fast that you are having a hard time just trying to keep up with the girls, and the harmonization is just so well written. I cannot stress that enough, and this song definitely proves that, it has that, again, more of a genty vibe than the song before, Dada Dance, but it brings even more and more heaviness as it progresses. And after Elevator Girl, you are thrown into a song named Shanti Shanti Shanti, and it's truly like something completely different, because on this song the guitars take a little bit of a backseat to a lot of Indian influence melodies and rhythms. A lot of songs on this album are very rhythm driven and very rich on percussion sounds. You can just focus on the music and you hear a ton of different variations of percussive instruments, and when you combine that with the vocals from BABYMETAL, with all the great phrasing that they have in this song, you just get a really catchy tune that again makes you wanna move your whole goddamn body. And after this, the song number 5 named O Majinai, where actually Joachim Roden is the guest. At first I was like, okay, so is this really going to work? Because Joachim is a vocalist of the power metal band Sabaton. He has a very specific singing style, and I wasn't really sure how his singing and Baby Metal singing is going to go together, but in the end it works really well. And overall this feels like, you know, something kind of pirate folk metal, something like that. I got reminded of Korpiklani at some point. You know, it feels that you are somewhere in the far north, just sitting in a pub drinking beer with your friends, and this song is something that could start playing anytime. And while it might get a little bit repetitive here and there, my brain is basically having a big party while listening to this song, so that is what I meant to say. But god damn it, there is one part in this song that I did not expect, and there is like a huge breakdown where it just slows down from all, you know, those really happy yada kind of feeling. And oh my, that hits freaking hard. I really love how Joachim Broden's vocals are just mixed with the girls' vocals, and it just brings a really nice contrast, you know, and it really works. So apart from a little bit of the repetitiveness, this song is definitely a ton of fun. After that we are going to song number 6, and the name is Brand New Day. This song is a little bit different from the rest of the songs that you've heard so far, because it's not really, you know, all that crazy. It kind of calms down a little bit, but it has a lot of fun with the stop time effect kind of thingy, you know, just kind of glitchy stuff, I guess, in the chorus and in the beginning of the song, you know. So the craziness in this song kind of slows down a little bit, you know, lets you breathe. And the vocals really get to shine in this one. And maybe one little gripe that I have with this song is just if the chorus was made a little bit more straightforward. You know, there are all these stop times, you know, these effects in the chorus, instrumentally wise, that I believe it might have been even better, but that might be, you know, just a personal preference. And overall, I just really enjoy this song because, you know, it's really well positioned in the album, so you can have a little breather from all the electronic, speedy craziness, you know, fast-paced vocals. And also, this song features a very nice solo from Scott LePage from Polyphia, so definitely thumbs up for this one. And before you know it, you are thrown back into the metal craziness with the song Night Night Burn. The vocal phrasing, again, I've been mentioning this a lot while reviewing this album, but it's just so freaking good, you know, the speed and the overall placement of the vocal melodies is just so goddamn good, and it's really shining in this song once again. So yeah, this one is a little bit more intense than Brand New Day, but it's just the part after the first chorus is just pure rhythmical metal joy. It's just so freaking good. You just gotta listen to that for yourself, because everything that happens after the first chorus is just freaking mind-blowing, and I absolutely love it. And also, after the second chorus, there is like a transition with some Spanish-sounding acoustic guitars, and after that second transition, I just kind of felt like I was in a metal-oriented Rio de Janeiro kind of carnival. It just had that feeling, and it was just so much freaking fun, as well as this whole song was just a ton of fun. Now moving on to the track number 8, and the name of this track is In the Name Of. Now this one is something completely different, maybe not, you know, that much instrumentally wise, but vocally definitely something completely different. And it's a very ominous, chant-driven, almost like movie soundtrack kind of song, especially in the very beginning, and it's just very tribal sounding with some demonic vocals. And while this might be my least favorite song on this album, it's just another, you know, good breather before the next speedy craziness that is just bound to happen, and that is song number 9, named Distortion, where Alyssa Whiteglass is a guest vocalist. Basically, with this song, speed is the key, because after the very powerful speedy intro, you get a little bit of a vocal battle between Alyssa Whiteglass and BABYMETAL vocalist. You know, BABYMETAL vocalist, Su-Metal and Mohammed actually have a little bit more of an effect on their vocals, and I believe maybe even Alyssa has some effects on her vocals as well. It sounds really cool, even though I believe Alyssa's vocals could have been a little bit more powerful in these verses. but the really nice contrast here is between the verses and the chorus, because the verses are very electronic driven, while the chorus is just so goddamn freaking fast, a double bass workout, maybe one of the fastest songs on this album, and it just, 3 minutes of pure speedy metal awesomeness. Now moving on to the song number 10, Papaya. This song probably contains the most rap on this album, and it has a very jumpy, infectious kind of rhythm, and I definitely really like the guest on this song, who is named F Hero. He does a lot of this mid-range, harsh vocal kinda rapping in this song. He's doing a lot of that papaya. But the thing is, if he just did, like papaya, it might get annoying really fast, and I believe that for some people it might get annoying even as it is right now. But the little bit of a harsher edge from his rapping just gives it a little bit of a nicer contrast, because it's not papaya, it's more like a papaya. So that just to me sounds really cool, and especially his solo part. I was just so freaking glad that he got his little solo part, and he is really a really great rapper. I really like his voice, his aggressive style. And it's just a lot of fun, another, fun song, and while the papayaing might get a little bit annoying at the end there, it's just a super fun song. And the song number 11, actually, the name is Kagura, but I believe that this song had a different name before. If I'm not mistaken, you can tell me down in the comments below if I am, because if I am, then I'm just a dum-dum. But I believe that the song was named Tattoo before, because I believe that I saw a little, a little snippet of a live version of this song before, and I was like, okay, so this is a really, really catchy song, and it's definitely different from the other songs. Again, a little bit of a breather from, the songs before, from Distortion and Papaya. A little bit less of that craziness, but the thing that I really like about this song is that it's more guitar driven, probably the most guitar driven song on this album, guitar plus vocals. That just makes this song go really far, and I really like it because it's, again, as I said, a bit less reliant on those electronics, and it just has great riffs, great melodies, a very catchy chorus. I also like the harmonizations of the vocals in the chorus, that do really like that. And this is definitely one of my favorites on this album for some reason, because it's just really a really memorable song, and I just believe that Su-metal really shines on this one. And again, as I said, it's a really nice breather from all the craziness. Now going to the song number 12, talking about craziness, we are going a bit back to that, but with a little bit, a pinch of epic, because Starlight has just a great mix of, those chanted vocals, harmonies, and, a catchy chorus. The only thing that I think might be a little bit off, and again, that might be just personal preference, I feel like when they are singing the chorus, there are lots of, drawn out long notes, and I believe that could have been toned down a little bit, because it feels a little bit like too much on those long notes. But again, we get a bit of growling here that just really, gives it a little bit more of an edge, and it has a freaking nasty breakdown. And after that breakdown, the heaviest part of the song, comes the most emotional part of the song, which is just like something, I don't know, it's like a big bang, while it might be just, a simple na 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 na. Just the harmonies and the overall atmosphere and the feeling of that part just really gets me, and especially, after that heavy part, it just feels like freaking heaven, man. After Starlight, we are getting another breather, and that is the ballad of this album, and the name is Shine. Now, this just opens with some beautiful acoustic guitars in the intro, and also the chorus is really well laid out, and just the whole song just has a a huge sounding orchestra behind it, and while this might be not one of my favorites, I believe that they have better ballads, and I just kinda believe that this song might have a little bit of that unfulfilled potential here and there. But overall, I kinda like it, especially with that outro, you know, with the harmonized vocals and the acoustic guitars. I could just listen to that all day, that just sounds so beautiful. Now, moving on to the very last song on this album, and oh boy, it's a banger. The name is Arcadia, and it starts with epic chanting, then, you know, a little bit of a suspense, and suddenly you feel like that you've been teleported to a Dragon Force song. Now, I was not able to find if any of the members from Dragon Force are actually, you know, contributing to this album and especially to this song. But god damn it, this song, the structure overall, the riffs, the solos, it just freaking screams Herman Lee, Dragon Force. So this song basically is a mashup of these two bands. It's a Dragon Force song with some baby metal vocals and maybe a little bit, you know, of their atmospheric kind of approach to their songs, sprinkled all over the place, and it just sounds so good. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the only song on this album that has blast beats. Maybe not too much of them, but you know, sometimes a little too much of blast beats can be a bad thing. Some bands could learn a thing or two from this song, because this song has just the right amount of them. The orchestra in the background just gives this song an extremely epic feeling, and you just feel like you're in the middle of an epic battle, and it's definitely a very well fitting song to end this album with. So overall, this record, Metal Galaxy, is a ton of fun. You know, you have an awesome rich sound, fun songs, a lot of variation in the songs. You know, you get speedy songs with crazy electronics, you have a ballad, you have a more, you know, guitar-driven song, then you have a song with that just sounds like it, you know, Korpiklan wrote it, and then you have a song that just sounds it came from an Indian metal band. And I believe that all metal fans can find something on this album that they might like. Obviously, if you're not a fan of this kind of vocal approach to this genre, you're most likely not going to like this album, but for those who like baby metal, I think this is going to be a satisfying album. And while sometimes it might be too effect happy and maybe even, you know, a little bit too long of an album, I just still had a ton of fun listening to this album. So my overall rating is 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this album. I'm definitely going to be adding some songs to my car mix, because just, you know, the energy is just there, and Su metal and Moa metal are just sounding so freaking great. Especially, you know, you can definitely hear, you know, the growth in Su metal's vocals, especially on the song Kagura, and I just really like that song. Maybe that's one of my favorites on this album. Not maybe, it actually is one of my favorites on this album. But overall, I'm having a hard time, you know, just pinpointing a few songs that I really like from this album. But if I had to go for just like 3 songs, I would have to pick Brand New Day, Night Night Burn, and Kagura. So there is that. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. I'm sorry that I'm still sounding a little bit rough. I'm still a little bit sick. I'm gonna try to record a regular reaction video after this one. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my review of BABYMETAL's Metal Galaxy. Really enjoy this album. Let me know what you think about this album, if you have listened to it, if you love it, if you hate it, what songs do you like the most, and what do you think about the overall sound and performance. And I will see you all in the next video. So have a nice day, evening, night, or whatever you have right now. Cheers!